Hey everybody, this is going to be a short edition of the vlog tonight. I just want to talk about something real quick that has just been really bothering the living piss out of me. Not just me, but a lot of other people. Yeah, again, this is involving something that a lot of folks have been talking about, and this tragedy that's happened in Tucson. Uh, it is something that is probably going to be something we're going to talk about for a long time. Now, uh, today, or as you all know, Sarah Palin was a target of part of this, basically because of some of her political rhetoric that she has engaged in. And her and the right wing have engaged in just immensely over the past few years. Well, instead of Sarah Palin stepping up and putting differences aside and saying, because she's rightfully so, people on the left have gone off on the right and vice versa. But instead of Sarah Palin doing the right thing and stepping up and saying, hey, you know what, let's quit arguing and let's come together at a time of tragedy and do a video, instead of doing this, she released a video, by the way. And instead of her just saying, hey, let's come together in this time of tragedy, she decides to launch into a tirade and basically inflicting a term that is called blood libel. If you don't know what blood libel is, it is one of the most anti Semitic things you could say. And I mean, it's one of the most insultive things you could say. And it's anti Semitic, it's anti Christian, it's anti a lot of things. And she launched it in the media and claimed they were basically dealing in blood libel. Uh, it, it, it was absolutely atrocious. She did this. What now? What I find now, the good news is there are some folks on the right that have basically, stepped back from it and said, you know what, this was the wrong move. Now, of course, the usual suspects basically took her side. The idiots like Glenn Beck, of course, the El Rushbos, uh, America's favorite Nazi Pat Buchanan, and the list goes on. But I've been also reading a lot of just conservative commentators who have said, you know what, this was a bad move. Instead of trying to unite, you launch into an attack. And that is what I'm going to talk about tonight. And I mentioned this yesterday in my blog about instead of us being dividers, we need to be uniters on both sides of the table. Instead of, and I'm going to borrow a popular term, it's a term from a TV network, MSNBC actually. Instead of leaning right or leaning left, maybe we should lean forward in our thought process. Um, One thing, and I was kind of inspired, I was just reading and watching a little while ago, the president was at the memorial service in Tucson, and he really stepped it up. He finally, he, all politics aside, all silliness aside, he stepped up and he did the right thing. And he said, you know what? We need to come together. We need to put all the hate aside, all the garbage aside, and we need to come together. And there are some things I respect this president. There's some things I haven't. But tonight, he really did what a president should have done, and that is brought the country together. And it got me choked up a little bit in what was done here, guys. And I will say this: if uh, the folks all around elsewise could look at what he did and be an example like that, if Sarah Palin would have done something like that, or even half that, I would actually have a little respect for her tonight. But unfortunately, I don't. But I'll tell you what I'm doing. Um, I'm going to actually make less political on here because I know people get sick of hearing about politics. So I'm going to make a conscious effort not to do as much politics on here on the blogs, on my other YouTube videos, also uh, on my on my Facebook. So there's going to be a lot less political talk from me, probably for the foreseeable future, because I'm tired of hearing about it. Now, if there's something that really will pique my interest, yes, I will talk about it, but I'm not going to talk about it as much. We're going to start focusing on a little bit more fun stuff now. Just about living life and getting together and breaking bread, and that's what I'm going to be about. And I wanted to break bread with you guys, and girls, and I want to shake your hands, kiss your babies, and do what I do best, and that's just being a good guy to people. And you know, I really appreciate you guys watching. I really appreciate you guys, um, subscribing. I really appreciate you guys giving comment. And you know, I'm gonna leave you with one last thing. Again, let's try to be uniters and not dividers in all aspects of our lives, guys. God bless you all, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great evening. Good night.